Hi guys, welcome to another edition of Beginning for iOS tutorial series. And today we're gonna discuss more about Swift and more into coding with Swift. Last time we discussed about variables and data types and concatenation and also comments, single line comments or multiple line comments. So today we're gonna go ahead and discuss if and else statement and arrays and switch statements. Those are very important concepts that you need to understand for any programming language, not just Swift. So we're gonna go ahead and start. So first, if you're new to this channel, welcome. And I suggest, if you are a new iOS developer, I suggest going and watching my first tutorials first before coming to this. If you are advanced or have some knowledge, go ahead and continue watching. So if you have Xcode installed, go ahead and open Xcode. You can actually use search to search for it, command and spacebar, or you can just go ahead and look for it in your option panel. And go ahead and open Xcode and go File, New, and select Playground. Go ahead and choose iOS and blank and click on Next. Go ahead and create the playground. So go ahead and go Next and I name it Swift Tutorial. Okay. And click on Create. When you click on create, we're gonna go ahead and see playground just like last time, and you're gonna have import UI kit. So we have a variable actually already created for us, so we're not gonna use this variable. We are gonna create our own variable. We're gonna go ahead and say let age equals to 1. Let's say 21 or something like that. Okay. And so what if and else statements are checking a condition. If a condition is valid, and then there's several operators to check with. One is greater than. Operators are basically if you're comparing two numbers, this middle one is the operator. Now, so let's go ahead and go to let age equals 1. So we're creating a variable and a constant variable, because with the let we have a constant. If you were to use a var, we could actually change it. So the difference between constant is because it stays constant and we can't change the variable. If you were to change the variable, Swift will complain and say cannot assign value. You want to change this to var. Swift has a way of it would give you suggestion for a fix. So we're not gonna use a var. We're gonna in Swift, it's important to use as much constants variable as possible. It makes you actually a better programmer. So let's go ahead and do an if statement. So you start an if statement with an if, and after that you put the variable that you want to check for, and now you press greater than 21, and you start a bracket open, a curly bracket open, curly bracket closed. So you started with a curly bracket open and close it with a curly bracket. And in order to so like I was saying, there's many operators. So the operators we have are the greater than, less than, greater than equal, less than equal, equal, not equal, and not. So basically what those are greater and equal is anything greater, right? If it's greater, less, greater and equal is actually if it's 21 or bigger than 21. So when you say equal, it's like you're comparing a variable that is 21 or greater than 21, or less than equal, same thing. Equal, just equal. Not equal, you understand, just not, and not. So we're gonna test a couple of those together. Remember I was saying you have binary operators and unary operator. Binary operator is like the not equal is a unary operator because you don't use it on two. You say not age. You don't say age equal to, let's say age 2, right? Age 2, 22. You don't say that. You say age not. So that's why you're working on one side of it. You don't need two variables to work with. So that's what the difference is. So let's go ahead and say if age is bigger than 21, then we're gonna say print name. So we're gonna have a name variable, and the name variable will say Bob. So, and we're gonna concatenate just like last time. We start with a backslash, open parentheses, close parentheses, and your name. So I say Bob's age is greater than age. So now we're gonna concatenate again age. So there you go. So if this is gonna print if the age is bigger than 21, but we set it 21, so it should not print that, right? So it won't print anything. But if I make it 22, it will print. Yeah, so Bob is greater than 22. So if I go ahead and say let's use the less than, it's not gonna print. But if this is 20, 21, if it says if age is less than 21, so age is 20, it is less than, so it's gonna print it now. Yeah, Bob is greater than, so this doesn't make sense anymore because now I gotta say less than. So, and if it's, I'll just say, if it's greater than equal. So greater than equal is if age is 20. So if this was 21, age is 21, 21 is equal to 21. So it will go because it's greater or equal, right? So if it's 23, well, what do you think will happen? If it's 23, 23 is bigger than 21, but it's not equal. So it's still gonna go because it's greater. Yeah. And then if it's less than, same thing. So it's less than or equal. So if you have 19, what do you think will happen? 19 is less than 21, right? Okay. And so that will meet the condition and work. But if it's greater than 21, 22, it won't work. Yeah, because 22 is greater, it's not less than or equal. So not equal 22. So if age is not equal to 22, that means go ahead and print the age, but age is 22, so it's not gonna print. Just gonna. All right. So those are the operators and if statements. So let's go ahead and talk about if one condition is not met, how about another condition? Can we do another one? So if else. So if age is not 22, then what is the age, right? Print cannot determine age or something. Determine age. So age is 22, but it's saying age is not 22. If age is not 20, but it is 22, so it's gonna print this one. Cannot determine age. And so the way if works is if a condition is met, it will do that, and it will escape the. It will go to this location, so it will come here and print this and jump right here. But if if it doesn't meet that condition, then it goes to the else, prints it, and it comes here. You can actually see like how that happens, because I can go ahead and say print done. For this one is coming to here, coming to this else block. So it's coming to the else block, and okay, so it's coming to the else block and saying coming here, it's printing this, and then coming out of that block, or both of the blocks, and it's coming to done. So another way to do this if and else statement is if you have many conditions, then you have else if. So if age is bigger than 21, otherwise else is between. You can also do between. So in order to do between 22, so say if age is bigger than 22, or oh yeah, that's another thing called or and. So or has two kind of lines. So you're saying or age is less than 22, bigger than 20 or less than. So in between 22 and 32. So what I'm saying is I'm giving the range with or. There's actually two other operators I didn't talk about. It's an or and. So or is two straight vertical lines, and then and is like that. So you have two and ampersand. So you have two ampersands for and for or you have two pipes. So in order to do a range here, so I say if age is bigger than 21, otherwise give me an age, else if we have to put, else if age is between 22 and 32. Why is it between? Because age is bigger than 20. If age is bigger than 20, or age is less than 32. No, cannot determine age. Why? Because so if age is 20, age is not bigger than 22. Otherwise, age is bigger than 22, or age is less than 32. So that's why it's coming there. Because if age is bigger than 22, or otherwise, age is less, so it's actually using this and it's printing that. So you can actually do a lot of like. You can do and or, mix those all up if you have a condition that you want to check. Another thing I wanted to talk about is switch statements. So switch statements are basically if you have if, else, if, you have too many if, else, if, then use something called switch. And when you type switch, it would automatically tell you what to do. So I'm going to go ahead and switch on age. Actually, let's go ahead and do a really simple example of grades. So let's say you get a grade of 80, right? So your grade, current grade on an exam is a 90. So 90 is an A, right? So what switch has is a range operator. So you can check on a range. So I can check the range starting with a case. So switch starts with a case. Each case is a condition, kind of like if else, if else, if else. So current grade. So if the current grade is between 85, 90, and 100, you get an A. Actually, it's also A plus, right? So I'm gonna say if it's 90 to 95, otherwise. So let's say case current grade is 95 and 200. Then you get an, so it's like you can just say it's print. You get an A. So we can actually make this a default statement, because if all the conditions are saying the print A plus. And then this one, so this one we can actually say case current grade. So let's say you get 70 to 80, then your grade is actually, you get wow. Okay, so you don't say current, so you say switch current grade, and then you say case, and each, so if you check in a range, you start with the number and to the end range, starting range to the end range. So, and then you can also, another thing you can do with the ranges is you can say, let's say case, if you get 60 and it does not include 69, so you start with, actually instead of 3 dots, you have 2 dots, and you have a less than equal or greater than equal. And what that does is check from 60, not including the last one, so 60 to 68. So I say print, that one is a print, you get a D. Okay, so that's switch statement. So if I go ahead and print the statement, and what do you think will happen? So you have a 90, right? So it comes to this switch statement and says, okay, is 90 in a range from 60 to 68? No. Is it from 70 to 80? No. Is it 90? Yes, it is. So you get an A. So it will should print an A. You get an A. How about if I say 50? What do you think will happen? So 50, you come here in case 60. It's not going to be 60. It's not going to be 70. It's not going to be this one. It's going to go to the default case. So that's incorrect, right? Our logic is incorrect. It's going to say A plus because we're not doing A plus. So we do need a condition to say A plus. If none of them are, and you get an F, I think that's the best way to do it. 700. You get a plus. So now its condition is correct, because if I have a 50, I get a F. You get an F. All right. So that completes actually another thing I wanted to talk to you about is this fall through. So you can, in each case, if you want the other case to not check the condition, so what I'm going to say, if I do fall through, it's going to come here and check this condition, and it's going to print this, and then it's going to print this without checking the case. Because if you want to print many things and you don't care about case encoding, then if any logic that you're writing. All right, let's talk about arrays. Arrays are basically lists, and basically lists. So let's say you have like a list of items, right? So you start with a let, and you say list of items, and you have any kind of item. So you want to have the same data type. Remember, we talked about whole numbers, which are ints, and we talked about decimal number, which are float and double, and we also talked about boolean. So you can put any kind of data types. You can even put the data type that you create custom, but that we're going to talk about later. So I'm going to put in a string data type, right? And my items are fruits. I have banana, apple, oranges. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to print the list of items. So I can say print, just type in the list of items, and it's going to print the list of items for me. Banana, apple, oranges. For it, when you do the data type, it has to be also an array, just like that. So make sure whenever you assign a data type that the data type starts, whenever it starts with a bracket open and bracket closed, that's an array. So that's how you know, that's how Swift knows that you're assigning an array. That's why when you do this, you have an array. And you can also do a Boolean. You can say false, true, true. And then we're gonna learn next time about for loops and how to go through the array and print different items at a time, because it's printing everything at once, right? So you can print at a time and you can check items. Now you have a lot of tools actually to program. So that concludes this tutorial, and be sure to subscribe to see new tutorials, and click on the bell to and turn on your notifications. And until next time, looking forward.